Right, today I'm going to tie a olive damsel nymph, damsel nymph stroke lure. In the vise is a size 10 filling meal competition heavyweight. You could also use a Camazam B175 or a Partridge wet heavy, for instance, that style of hook. And I've popped a 3.5mm red fluoro tungsten bead on the hook. Now I'm going to start the thread behind the bead, and in touching turns I'm going to run the thread down until I get halfway between the hook point and the barb. Just take those funny bits off there. Now I'm going to add some Marabou. Now this is just olive Marabou. Now I've torn some fibres from the stem in the middle, and I'm just kind of pull the fluff away to reveal the stalks. Catch that in on the side, let thread talk roll it round to the top of the hook, and there we go. And I will just tear that off, maybe a hook shank and a half from the back. So there we go, there's your tail. Then I'm going to add the flash. Now the flash is just red mirror flash from Vineyards. And I'll take a strip out of the packet, or a piece out of the packet, and I'll fold it over. I'm trying to do this so you can see. Fold it over till the ends match. And then I want it just shorter than the actual tail. So I'm going to turn the fly a little bit towards me now. And all I'm doing is adding this onto the side and catching it in. Just going to move that bead out of the way. So add that onto the side. Catch it in, 1, 2, a couple of turns, and then fold it over to the other side, and again, whoopsie daisy, catch it in on the side, and just trim it again slightly shorter than the tail. Now, I'm going to run the thread up to the bead again. I didn't do that very neatly, did I? So any straggly bits, I'm going to come in with my scissors and let them, and take them off. Then I'm going to add some silver wire. Now this silver wire is just silver wire that I've bought from, I think this came from Hobbycraft actually. It's just a nice, I'd call it a medium-ish size bit of silver wire. I'm going to add a bit of wax on the thread, and I'm going to catch this in on the way down. So I'm going to poke the end of the wire into the bead, and then holding it on my side, run it down all the way to the base of the tail. Just like that. I've just got a few fibres here that I don't like, so I'm just going to take them away. Then we're going to add in some UTC Opal Mirage Tinsel in a size large. So I'm just going to take a piece of that. Now I tend to keep it on the spool. It saves any wastage. So again, I'm going to catch it in. This stuff can be a bit fiddly, but I'm going to catch it in on my side of the hook, full length of the body, and I'm going to run the thread up to the bead. I'm going to run the thread halfway down, back up to the bead, and then run it all the way back down to where the tail started, and then take my thread all the way back up again. Now I'm just going to wrap this around. So I've kept it on the spool, there'll be no wastage. And I'm going to keep going, overlapping my turns, keeping it nice and tight, always concentrating to keep it tight. And then on that last turn, follow it up with the thread, catch it with the thread, come over twice, bit of fingers and thumbs, trim. I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit. Now I'm going to add some wax on the thread here, and I'm going to come round with my wire. And I'm just going to take my wire up. What this wire does is it just protects the tinsel. So thinking about your spacing, On that last turn again, follow it up, put a 90-degree bend into the wire, catch it, whoops, come here, hold it back and in front, and what you can do is just wiggle the wire. Just wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it, and it will break off. There is the body and the tail done. Now, just to protect that body, you can use UV resin, or I just tend to use nail varnish. And this is just Rimmel 60 seconds in a clear. It sets incredibly hard. And so you're going to come around, making sure that the whole body is covered. Just like that. Just any excess, I'm just going to wipe off, just using that brush. And there we have it. Right, now I'm going to put in a hackle feather. This is a saddle hackle feather. It's an olive grizzle. Pull some stems out. I like them to be slightly longer than the gap of the hook, the gape of the hook. And I'm going to pull some fibres off to reveal the stem. I'm going to cut that stem a little bit shorter because I don't need it that much. Now I'm going to add wax to the thread again, just to give me grip. Just to give me grip. And now with the convex side of the feather facing me and the convex side facing the hook, I'm going to whoopsie-daisy, I'm going to catch it in. If it'll allow me, there we go. And I'm going to run that down to the body a little bit, and then I'm going to take it up. And I'm going to come back and end where the body ends. I'm just going to take this fibre off of here. I really should put my glasses on. I might be able to see what I'm doing a little bit better. There we go. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of dubbing on here. Sense would say, now, this is just Stevie Whitlock's SLF box. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some olive, and I'm going to mix it with a bit of purpley sort of black colour. I mean, I don't know how they call that. Dragonfly dark and stud olive shrimp. So I'm going to take a little bit of each out the box. It's difficult to do this and showing you, but so I've got a little bit of each in my finger, and we're just going to do a quick little finger dub, just mixing them up as best you can. Okay, and I'm just going to dub it onto the thread. Again, just try dubbing little bits at a time. Don't dry too much because you won't dub it on there correctly. We're going to take it over, do a turn, take it over, do a turn, like that. Until you got enough. That's probably enough there. So, just going to make sure this is all good. Bring my thread to the back of the bead. Bit of wax again. And now come round with your hackle feather through that dubbing. 3 turns is probably enough. Follow it up again, 90-degree bend into the stem of the feather. Come round a couple of times. Come round. Now hold your bobbin nice and tight so the thread's tight, and you should be able to snap that off. And then simply pull these back, come in with a turn behind it, and again, well, that is again, I'm going to wax, I'm going to varnish the thread, because it, you know, again, it's the easiest way to varnish that thread. And then I'm going to come in with my whip finish tool. 1, 2, 3, 4 is plenty. So tighten that right up. Come in with your scissors, nice and tight. Trim. And there we have it. You know, that is the fly. And believe me, that catches an awful lot of fish. Thanks for watching.